mic is not clear.
The good news is that day 2, you usually have a better understanding, so it doesn't seem quite so scary on day 2. Day 2. Direct variation. In this first box, let's just write down 2 other things. Part of what makes it so confusing is there's multiple names that all mean the same thing. So let's just write down other names in this box. For example, not math related, you call me Miss Swimmer. My mom doesn't call me Miss Swimmer. She calls me Leanne. So, multiple names for the same person. Multiple names for the same thing. Bryn.
Why did random question like who stops like calling me by their last name? Like why can't we just like call each other or something?
At the preschool building, actually, if any of you are there, they do go by like Miss Angela, Miss Patty, Miss.
Oh yeah, they did that at my preschool too, I think.
If you go back, not even that far, to like 50 years ago, teaching was a very strict profession. Like your grandparents might tell you a story about them being hit with a ruler. Because that happened to my dad at his school. Because it was very strict. And then you called everyone by their last name. So no one would call your mom by her first name. Everyone would say Mrs. Orton. You see what I mean? So that school's gotten more relaxed, obviously, but the tradition of going by the last name just keeps going. It's more of a tradition at this point. Isabel.
Yeah, nowadays hurting kids is considered child abuse.
Right. So no one should be hitting you with a ruler at this point. No.
Yeah. My mom, whenever she does something like that, she's like, "It's not child abuse."
You're right. But yes, exactly. Different sort of discipline 50 years later. Okay. So there are multiple names for this same direct variation thing. And remember, direct variation is y equals kx. Where'd the k come from? Right. Right. It used to be m. It still is m. But in this special situation, he changed m to k. Why is it special, by the way? Yes! It's special because b is always 0. So what did Descartes do? He said, if it's always 0, I'm just not writing it. I'm not writing plus anything. Did you write this equation down one more time in that top box?
Yeah.
Because the more you write it down, the more likely you are to remember it. It's a proven fact. Okay, next box. Again, multiple names for the same thing. Constant of proportion, also known as constant of variation, could also be called unit rate. I'm going to go back to that in a minute. This got too far down, sorry. Which actually, all of that is called slope. Whew. Unit rate goes back to, Maddie, your dad's Justin? Mm-hmm. Mechanic Justin yesterday, when he was making $30.
I won the duel. Oh. Made state finals.
Oh my gosh, he scared me. I thought he needed help or something.
For what? Wrestling?
Yeah.
Probably. He's very happy.
That's probably why they're.
I'm not kidding. I thought he was gonna poke his head in like someone was hurt or something. Does he not? No, he can't do that.
Oh, I know CPR. So.
Oh, good.
Actually said.
Who made it?
We were losing to Stillwater with 2 matches left. But apparently we just won now.
We need to get balloons and put them in his room.
My heart
My
is
brothers are
beating like crazy. Okay, slope. Remember, we're calling it K in this special situation. Why is it special?
That's a distance.
Plus 0.
Because plus 0, it's going through 0 every time. We found out that we could write slope in this weird way. Will you write this weird way down too?
Yes, just when they look at the video, are they gonna
Yep, they're gonna hear all that.
You're gonna hear Mr. Kelly just walk in.
They're gonna hear my heart beating like there's an emergency. This is really gonna help us in a minute. So in the top left box, we have y equals kx, right?
No.
And in the top right box, we have k equals y over f, right?
Yeah.
We need both of those multiple times today. Everybody's got it. All right, so then we get into some problems that look a little bit different than yesterday, but not necessarily harder, just look a little different. So this one says, write an equation for the direct variation, which we know what is special about a direct variation. Yes, the line intersects at 0. So that was a hint that I'm looking for K. What's K?
Slope.
Slope. How can I find slope?
Look at the number things. Go down -4, -2.
You're so close, Maddie. How can I find slope? 2 R words.
Rise and grind.
Okay. Uh-oh. Normally there's 2 or 3 points in my X, Y chart, and I only have 1 grid.
Each two. You need to make up the X's or make up the X's.
I know, but I don't have any equation to put my X into, Preston.
Oh, you put 0 and 0?
Yay, Preston! Godiva just said the point 0, 0 is in every graph. So let's use it. And now, how do I get from 3 to 0? Rewind 2 days, we did this.
-3.
How do I get from -4 to 0?
+4.
Maddie, this is the right track that you were on. How do I find K? We wrote it in the top box.
Rise, -3.
What's on the top?
-3.
We wrote it in the top box.
Y.
Why? What's why? We just figured it out.
-3.
What's in the bottom?
4.
X, which we just found was 4. Now I can write my equation so fast because K is popping out. Well, this wasn't fast.
-3/4 popped in.
Whew. K popped out. All I had to do was pop -3/4 in. That's so fast. Watch. What do I know about this line?
That's the Y. 0.
Starts at 0.
And
Starts at 0 and then what?
goes up. Rise.
Down
-3.
3.
Down 3, run 4. 4, down 3, run 4. Next one, so similar. Eventually, I'm trying to get an equation right here. Before that, I have to find the slope. They told me 3, -5, and Godiva told me 0, 0 every time.
+5 -3.
Addison, how do I get from -5 to 0? Taylor, how do I get from 3 to 0? Thank you both. Just move that up. Savannah, what did we just figure out about y?
+5.
Allie, what did we just figure out about x? Oh my gosh, I can write this equation so fast. Zach Hellstrom, k pops out.
5 -3.
First hour asked me about this negative. It's okay to leave it there. You've also probably heard me say 100 times. Addison? She's heard me say it 100 times easily. Move it to the top is my favorite place to put it. Which one's better? Neither. It helps understand better, I think, if it's on the top. But if you left it on the bottom, that's okay too. Go, Maddie. This is like a chain of events that our brain has to go through. Make the XY chart. Find the K. Find the K, write the equation. So you gotta do step 1, step 2, step 3. Next box. Oh good, they made the XY chart for me. What am I looking for right now?
Slope.
How am I gonna find the slope?
With the XY chart.
With the XY chart. Go, find the pattern, go. Questions here? You know it. Yes.
It's a graph.
I see that there's a graph there. What is it? I keep doing it. Drake, what'd you find out about y?
On +3. Or.
You're right.
Oh,
Sophie, what'd you find out about x?
supposed to.
I like your hair today.
say.
Godiva, what do you think I should do next? Before graphing it. Bryn,
That's your roll.
write the rule. Bryn, write the rule, Preston said.
Wait, I'm confused. What are you asking me? What K is?
Yeah!
Oh, root over 2.
Woo, that was so easy. All I had to do was literally look over an inch. Graphing it now actually would be pretty quick, right? Where do you start?
0.
0, then what?
Rise 3.
Rise 3, run 2. Rise 3, run 2. Rise 3, run 2. Rise 3, run 2. I think the next 2, 3, 2. Do the next 2. I think you can get those pretty quick. I'll help you with the next. Go on.
What is going?
Always early. For these special ones. The one that has 4 and 8. Are you doing it? Mm-hmm. That is exactly right.
Here.
Yes, you can. That's okay. I'll help with that. It's a little bit tricky. Okay, and then your final, you'll find K by putting your Y number over your X number. So if your Y is 6, and then we're kind of going backwards. When you write the equation, you take the K that you just found and put it in. That's my final answer, but it took a couple steps to get there. Am I explaining okay? It does.
Right at me.
Multiply less than 10. What did you get from 8 or 2? Six. Yep. I was thinking I was going to write a slope of 2 over 1, and then I heard a couple people say, Savannah, I knew she was going to say that. What did you have, Savannah? Okay, so there's 2 answers actually. She can have 6 over 3 and I can have 2 over 1. We can both be correct, we will get the same line. Sometimes though, like if there's a multiple choice question, let's say Monday, I don't know why I picked Monday or random. Oh, it wasn't random. It wasn't random. Monday. Oh. Let's say there's a multiple choice question and Savannah has 6 over 3 on her paper. While she's not wrong, she can't pick 6 over 3. That's not a choice. So she's going to have to pick 2 over 1. So you're not wrong to have 6 over 3 on the paper, but then you have to realize, oh, that wasn't a choice. I'm going to have to pick this one. Also be careful because there's always the one there, it's called a distractor, where they flipped it on you to see if you were going to be distracted by it. Try not to be distracted by the distractor. It's a real word, a distractor. Oh, this one might be right. I see a 2 in there. Try not to be distracted by the distractor. How about this one? Santa.
I got 4 over 3.
How do you, if I'm at -3, how do I get to 3? That's all right. You're fine. So, Maddie.
You would simplify it.
Okay, so I have to be aware that 4 over 6 might not be a choice. I might have to simplify, even though I'm not really wrong, I might have to pick the simplifier. That is actually part of math, knowing if they have 4/6, I might have to put 2/3 or the opposite. That's just knowing some math. Preston.
How do you get a third one?
I know, this one's tricky and it's actually gonna help us with the next box too, actually. So, Drake, what'd you notice?
That from 5 to 11, you're missing the numbers in between there. And you just gotta go from 4 to 5, and that's plus 1.5.
Okay, so we're missing some numbers, which made it look a little tricky to our eyes. Also, I heard him say this, plus 1.5. How, Addison like lifted her eyebrow at me. How can I have a decimal slope?
You don't.
You don't. So what else should I do?
Change into a fraction.
Ooh,
Oh.
change it into a fraction. Like
1 1.
1 1/2. Now we're getting somewhere.
Make it.
Oh wait. I have also never seen a mixed number slope.
Right. Okay, you can do
You cannot, Isabel.
Make it improper.
How?
Do the thing that makes it improper.
Like,
The improper thing.
Mason?
3/2.
2 times 1 plus 1, 3/2.
I forgot how to do that.
So here's just another example of my first answer might not be there. So I might need to tweak it a little bit by making a fraction. Oh, mixed number can't be there, so I need to tweak it a little bit and make it improper. Bryn.
When they do the thing where they go like 4, 5, and then skip a bunch of the numbers to just go to 11, does that just like throw us off?
Of course it is. It's called distractors. Don't be distracted by the distractors. Okay, now, there's another part to this. If I wanted to find, Drake said there were some missing numbers in here, like 8. I have 2 choices. I could count down until we get to 8, or do you see 8 in the X column?
I do not.
So I could replace X with 8, really any number I could replace it with, and that would help me find its buddy Y. Are you thinking about that? Multiplying fractions?
Oh,
Bryn?
make the 8 a fraction and put the same one. Or 1.
If we were adding, we'd have to have the same denominator. Allison? That's for dividing. I know, this is why fractions are so tricky. We don't need a common denominator, and we don't need to flip it. Addison? Times across. 3 times 8. 2 times 1. 24/2. 12! Guess what my buddy is? 8 has a buddy now, 12. I could do that for 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, any X I can do this for. That's going to help us on this bottom left one too. Oh, we do not have Mechanic Justin. We have Desiree the babysitter. What do we know about Desiree the babysitter? Maddie.
She babysitted 4 hours and earned $60.
4 hours, $60. Pete.
I know what 7 would be.
Hold that thought. Good work, sir. What else do we know about Desiree the babysitter, Maddie? What if Desiree doesn't babysit today?
She gets $0.
$0 if she works 0 hours. Sounds like it's going through the middle, right? Now what?
You gotta try and find how much she does for 7.
I am gonna try to find how much she makes for 7 hours.
And then add numbers in between.
Add the numbers in between, or I can look for my pattern. What pattern is happening?
Y is plus 60. And X is plus 4.
You okay, Taylor? Oh, look at this. What's Y?
60.
What's X?
4.
I could also call 60 over 4.
15.
Whoa, Desiree, she is one lucky lady. $15 per hour. How does that help me?
Do you now do 7 times 15?
Like with fractions though, 15 over 1 times 7. Oh, yeah, we tried the question.
Drake,
7 times 15.
you were right. I'm going to try to write this equation first. Addison, nice job. So now Maddie and Drake and probably a couple other people have realized we can turn X into 7. I can leave it 15 over 1. Or if I realize I have 2 whole numbers here, I could just do 15 times 7. Eat.
105.
Lucky Desiree.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I might need her babysitting job. I can change X into anything in this X column. If I'm looking for 2 was missing, right? What's the buddy for 2?
30.
What about like 10?
150.
So X is replaceable with anything, and it'll help you find the missing Y, buddy. When in doubt, make your XY chart so you can look for a pattern that will help you. If you just sit there and stare at the paper, oh, that didn't help me.
Strange.
Right, very strange. Look for your pattern in your XY chart so it can help you. Staring at it isn't going to help you. Question.